Yo, Teo here. So, the other day, and by the other day I mean like 10 minutes ago, I was speculating about how much time there is left, or like how much of the visual novel there is left to go, because there have been, what, 4 or 5 different points up until now, where I'm like, man, I must almost be at the end, and then there's another, 10 hours of content after that. So, I was thinking, because I currently think that I'm near the end, so I was thinking, and I realized that I'm not. Or at least I'm not, like, really, really close, because there's still a couple of plot points that need to be wrapped up, and some of them can't be wrapped up within this door, I think. I think the big plot point we're gonna have to go back to the mansion. Not a big plot point necessarily, but the plot point we're gonna have to go back to the mansion to resolve is George's, and why there's a painting that he's living in the mansion. Because that was one of the outstanding things that hasn't been resolved yet, that I had sort of forgotten until I started mentally taking note of what was left in the story. So as I see it, the like large-ish plot points left are, obviously we have to get Giselle back. Obviously we have to talk Morgana out of killing everyone. We have to go have some sort of resolution between Michael and George's. We need to figure out the exact relationship between Morgana and the white-haired girl. I'm pretty sold at this point on Morgana being the white-haired girl, both because Michael seems to have a better grasp of the situation than I do, and because of the parallels between Jacopo locking up Morgana and Jacopo locking up the white-haired girl in door 3. So, what was that? That was Michelle. No. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Oh, right. George's, Giselle, Morgana, white-haired girl. And was there anything else? Oh, right. And we still need to get Maria to write in the cellar, although that we can accomplish in this door. But if nothing else, I would be deeply surprised if the story doesn't at least take us back to the mansion one more time. So, I don't think I'm quite at the end yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm close. I've said that like 4 or 5 times now, but this time I'm sure. Clutching the necklace in one hand, Jacopo takes up the head of the procession to the observation tower. And while it lasts for but a brief moment, I see an image of the young man he used to be in his slightly slouched shoulders. Oh, we got the keys. They each insert and turn their individual keys, the lock disengaging and the door giving a deep groan as it swings open. I really like this track. I was complaining about some of the tracks in the first door, but I think the music has gotten meaningfully better since then. Beyond it, a spiral staircase extends high into the sky. Every time I've climbed these stairs, it's always been a solemn affair, and now is no different. I've succeeded, though. I've gotten them all here, ready to set her free before she's supposed to die. I've changed the past. Giselle. You hear me, Giselle? I made it in time. Now Morgana doesn't have to die tomorrow. Oh, right, there was one other thing that I was going to get into. It's a little bit awkward to break up the phasing here, but you may have noticed in the previous video that I had the option of fucking over Jacopo by not opening up the darkness. And as suggested by one of the commenters in a previous video, I am actually just gonna like run through the rest of the story till the end, because we're close enough that feels like a pretty straight shot from here. And then after I get to the end of the story, I'll close that video there, and then I'll make another video with all of the bad ends I missed, and also the epilogue and all the other post-game content. Now Morgana doesn't have to die tomorrow. I did it. Giselle. With me. Come on. You guys hear talking behind the door? Is there someone else in there with her? There couldn't be. It's only Morgana. Stay with me, please. Come on, you can't give up now. Oh, be quiet. As if you have any idea what I'm going through. Of course I do, Wait, what? Is it? What? Michael in there? No, that doesn't make any sense. Like Michael from a different timeline? How time travel folky are we getting? No. Standing before the door at the top of the stairs, a chill runs down my spine. Is that the Morgana from the mansion? Is that like present day Morgana? Before I have time to consider what might have caused it, My body moves on its own. I shove my way past the other men and push open the door. I know I'll come up with something pleasant. Take your mind off things. I'll come up with a story. Story? How about this? A dove flies in through the window up above, a piece of parchment tied to its leg. So she's talking to herself. So, does she have, like, conventional split personality disorder, or does she have, like, time travel magic split personality disorder? It's a letter from the prince of a neighboring land. You read it, and then you write a response. I do not. I don't respond. After exchanging letters back and forth for some time, the prince comes to find you. I'm not going to fall for your stupid fantasies. Holding on to something, even a fantasy, is better than believing in nothing at all. I don't want you to give up hope. Baseless hope only breeds despair. Not that you would know of that. Besides, if anyone's going to come for me, I don't want it to be a prince. There's only one person I want to see. We're all stunned to silence at the scene unfolding beyond the door. Morgana is having a conversation with herself. This does answer the question of who the white-haired girl is, and where she came from. Oh! Man, I'm dumb. They, like, laid it right there in front of me, and I didn't pick that one up. But I can't... This is just... No one should have to go through this. Your mind is split in two. Oh, Morgana. Looks like you have visitors. They're here to take my blood. Or they've got no use for me anymore. And are here to kill me. Oh, don't be so negative. Look, there's someone new. Kill me. Just set me free already. Morgana. You know what my wish is. Kill me. And curse. Put a curse on them. Come on, Morgana, look up at them. Wait. Does this mean that the Morgana who was fucking with us for the rest of the story isn't this Morgana? It's this, like, split personality? Or is the split personality of the white-haired girl? Oh, the original personality is a white-haired girl? A little bit lost right now. Original personality is white-haired girl, maybe. Split personality is the angry, evil one. But, like, the way she's talking to herself makes it seem like she might be going through what Michael did? So, like, the mansion itself is... Was, like, the mansion itself the original witch, or is Morgana here the original witch? I mean, obviously the answer to that is presumably going to be answered fairly soon, so I could just keep clicking forward to find out the answer, but... That's so boring. Come on, Morgana, look up at them. Your letters, they made it. I never wrote any letters. He's got long hair as white as snow, and eyes like rubies. He's beautiful, like an angel descended from heaven. An angel. Morgana. Come for you, Morgana. Come to set you free. Would you please undo her shackles, Jacopo? As you say. Morgana. Angel? Can you hear me, Morgana? At long last, I have this chance to hold you, while you're still alive. I'm here to get you out of this tower. You have nothing to worry about anymore. You can go outside again, see the sun, and go back to your old life. Angel. Morgana. Angel. No one's gonna hurt you anymore, Morgana. And the three of them by the door, none of them had any malice for you. Angel. You're free. You can go free again. Angel. You can have a normal life. No one is going to take any more of your blood. Angel. Please, Morgana. Please stay with me. Don't you want to leave this place? I'm going to set you free. I'll take you back to your cottage by the lake. I'll get you medicine. I'll help you with anything you need. If you want to go somewhere far away, I'll take you there. I'm begging you. I've waited so long for this moment. Morgana. I've been waiting so long for God to send an angel. Are you an angel? Are you an angel sent to deliver me from this place? Please, deliver me into my father's presence. I can't go back out there. I can't live in the mortal realm any longer. I don't want to. There's only one place I wish to go. Oh, holy servant of the Lord. You are an angel, aren't you? Morgana, please deliver me from this place. Yes, that's right, I am. For now, yes, I will be. I'm the Archangel Michael, sent to deliver your soul into God the Father, your angel. I've descended from heaven above. That's wonderful. Morgana, is Father, is he proud of me? Father, the Lord Almighty, is exceedingly proud of the great work you have done in his name. Thank you. It means so much to me to hear that. I couldn't be happier to be able to return with you to see him. Morgana. Morgana! Ah! Morgana! Her body goes limp in my arms as the last of her life slips away. There should have been more than enough time to spare. Still, I failed to save her life. At the very least, I hope I was able to provide her some comfort in her final moments. I'm allowed to think that, aren't I? We were too late. But why? Wasn't she not supposed to die until... That's not what you said, isn't it? But that's what you said, isn't it? That was how it was supposed to happen, right? How come we still didn't make it? Why didn't you do anything? Why did you just let her wither away like this? Why? Answer me! I have no answer for you. I had no idea she had deteriorated so badly. You should take her outside. Then you can atone for your sins. First, you need to take her body somewhere clean. Death does not mean you are free of pain. You need to ensure her soul can depart in peace. You won't see me objecting. You need to say now what you're going to say to her. Oh, right, because we have the foreshadowing from Michael's death. That, like, the souls are still listening after the body dies. You must let her know the truth. She's dead. What good will it do to reveal my feelings now? Are you really that dense? Of course it will do good. Her physical body may be dead, but her soul is still here, watching everything, listening to every word you say. I don't believe in souls. Well, I'm begging you to change your mind. Let Morgana hear what you have to say. Don't let her soul seethe in hatred. Please. I'm begging you. Okay. Morgana, I'm not the Lord you knew. The man who put you through hell. I killed him. I'm the man who freed you from his grasp. I'm the man who spent the next 3 years with you. We were poor, and food was scarce, let alone good food. But those were happy times. Just about every day, I'd come to rub ointment onto your face. I'd tell you to look at me, and you'd reluctantly turn my way. I used to think a lot about the face you'd make when you finally gave in. And then there was Maria. I can only imagine how obnoxious you thought the two of us were when we were in the same room together. You sitting off alone while me and Maria go at it, not making a peep. Me always trying to sneak glances at you. There's so much I never managed to tell you. And I hate myself for being too weak to put any of it into words. I could apologize, but I doubt you'd forgive me. And I don't want you to, either. I just want you to know that this isn't how I wanted things to turn out. What I wanted more than anything was to show you the world. But instead, all I managed to show you was the inside of a cold, dark tower. Not the beautiful, unimaginably wide world outside these walls, but a tiny, filthy corner of it. I did this to you. I took everything from you, when I should have given you everything. However much you hate me, I deserve every last bit of it, and more. I was ready to pay with my life if that's what you wanted. I was ready to do absolutely anything. This wasn't how I wanted things to turn out. waited too long to bring myself to take action. Morgana, the man there, he told me you said the 3 years you were with me and Maria were the brightest days of your life. Well, they were for me too. I loved you. That's everything. Did any of what he just said make it through to you, Morgana? I pray with all my heart that him opening up will have even the tiniest effect on how you feel. Morgana, I also want to apologize for everything I did to hurt you. I feel terrible about it, I really do. And yeah, I know that's not enough to make up for what I've done. But I want to make amends, whatever it takes. If you want me to give you my life now, I will. Or if you want me to spend the rest of my days paying for my sins, I can do that too. I'm an irredeemable monster and a killer. I take pleasure in hurting people. You were right to be afraid of me. I am genuinely sorry for what I did to you, though. I never wanted to see you dead. Sorry, I can't come up with anything better to say. Let's bring her outside. Would you carry her body, please? You should be the one to carry her. You're far better suited to the job. My right arm is in no condition to be picking anything up. I'll help you lift her, then. You said it was my words she needed to hear most, but ultimately, it was you who saved her. And me, who made that necessary. She wanted to be delivered to God by the hands of an angel, so the angel here should carry her. I can't. It wouldn't be right. Please, would you do that? For her? Very well. Yakupo puts a necklace around Morgana's neck, and lifts her dead body off the ground and places her in my arms. He opens the door, heading the four-man procession out of the tower, as he had in. I walk at the back of the line. Each step they take down the spiral staircase is slow and ponderous, as if weighted down by the knowledge of their sins. That they must make their way to the place they will make their atonement. I wasn't able to prevent Morgana's death, but I was able to uncover the truth. I accomplished something. The sum of everything I did these 3 days should be enough to change her heart, and change the course of their next lives. They should be able to avoid the tragedies I witnessed through each of their doors. When we step through this door and people see Morgana's body, we made to pay for our sins. Ultimately, I'm the one responsible, so the two of you are welcome to stay behind. I'm coming with you. The girl died because of the things I did. I can't just pretend it didn't have anything to do with me. No, I don't want to. I never had any intention of fleeing. You may have been the one running the operation, but I did just as many terrible things as you. Well then. Say, Michael? Yes? I figure this is probably my last chance to say it, so thank you for convincing me to hand over my key, for giving me the courage to open my eyes. You always had the courage within you, Mel. You simply needed a little help finding it. It wasn't my strength that allowed you to take action, but your own. You sure know how to make someone feel better about themselves. I'd like to be a little stronger next time around, if there really is a next life. I'd like to be strong enough to face whatever comes my way, not run away or try to ignore it. I have no doubt you will be. The trials you're made to face are great, and very few of them of your own making. Yours is a tragedy of circumstance. Feelings kept secret and good intentions gone wrong. If you can face the problems when it arises rather than look away, I'm certain you can find your way to a better future. You mean in my next life? I do. I trust you know what you're talking about, then burn your advice into my soul. Don't look away. Please do. Glad to have met you. If there is a next life, I'd like it if we could be friends. Just so you know, you'll never convince me to go on walks around a lake or take naps out in the sun. Well, that makes you sound like a very gloomy, unpleasant person to be around. Just joking. Thank you. You're welcome. You know, you kept telling me you weren't an angel, but you actually are, aren't you? I promise you I'm a regular man. You told Morgana you were an angel. Angels and demons don't get along very well, so I'd rather not run into you in my next life. I appreciate what you did here, though. I'll do my best to be more human next time. Please do. If I repeat to myself what you told me, that what I need most is restraint, as I make my departure from this world, then maybe I won't forget it, even if I do lose my memories. For burn it into my soul. I rather like that. I think I'll follow the Boyd's lead here. That would be best. And I'll be praying that, even if you aren't capable of love, you'll be able to live a peaceful life with a good woman who loves you. And you'll be able to make her happy by doing so. I still think she'd be better off never knowing me. Whether you want her to or not, she's almost certainly going to meet you, and fall in love with you. You know, now that I think about it, she's not as normal as I first thought. She's a peculiar woman. I can't say I disagree. Well, I guess this is goodbye then. That it is. I know everyone else is doing it, but I've got nothing to say to you. I didn't expect you would. Though I suppose I do have something I'd like to say to you. And what might that be? Be more open with yourself. If you'd only put your feelings into words, things would have turned out differently, in both this life and your next. Coming from you, a man who looks even more closed off than me, that rubs me very much the wrong way. Do I really look that closed off? More ways than one, yeah. That part of me is deeply ingrained. You telling me to open up won't magically disentangle my personality and make it be. I don't think you're as twisted as you believe you are. I'll consider it if this next life nonsense you're selling is true. Please do. Lord have mercy, one hell of a man certainly busted his way into my life. The last thing I expected was for an outsider to be the one to get us to open that door. Impressive work for one man. It was not only my doing. I had help from a number of people. And it was you, Giselle, who did the most in getting me here. I'm not as big a man as the three of you make me out to be. Before this, I'd lost so much I felt utterly powerless. I was on the verge of abandoning all hope. But having the opportunity to meet all of you, to spend time with you and the people around you, did a great deal to revitalize my spirit, despite the atrocities involved. So I thank you. I pray your next lives may turn out better. I suppose we should get going then. I'll have to pay for our crimes, to relieve her soul of some of its pain, and I suppose to make sure their next lives go a little better. Let's. Places a hand on the large door, then takes a step forward. The door lets out a heavy groan, and moonlight slips through the widening crack. It's all over now. I did it. I changed the past. What the hell? What I see beyond the door, it's not the nighttime courtyard. The sun hangs high in the sky, shining down on the blood-soaked grass. Why? What's going on? That's when I notice. The weight of Morgana's body is gone from my arms. And then... Out in the courtyard. Nellie! I see a flaxen-haired girl vomit blood and fall to the ground. A young man kneels over her and takes his own life. No! There are dead and dying townsfolk all around the nun. The swordsman is skewered as he scrambles to reach her. And at the door just to my back, Jacopo. The Lord lies unmoving, slumped against the wooden frame in a pool of blood. How can this be? We were all just talking, not a minute ago. How the hell did we go from that to this? Why, damn it? I changed the past, did I not? I steered them away from this outcome. I changed... Oh. That's what this is? As much as I don't want to believe it, it makes sense. The sense that something wasn't quite right I've been feeling ever since I got here. The darkness that swelled up when I touched the necklace. I was never in the past at all. This isn't the real world. It's the realm of the dead. The same domain in which the cursed mansion resides. Which is why, when I arrived here, something felt off. Because death filled the air. Somewhere deep down, I could sense the similarity between here and the mansion, that gathering place of departed souls. It was never possible for me to travel back in time, to exist and interact with the real past. I was able to summon the darkness, because this isn't the real world, merely a reconstruction, a projection of their souls' memories. It was all set in stone long ago. None of the time I spent with any of them was real. Every emotional moment I thought I shared with them was all an illusion. None of my conversations, none of the smiles I managed to get out of them were real. I was never there. I was never present in the past with them. I'm currently sometime after all that, sometime beyond the era Morgana lived, beyond the 17th, 18th, 19th centuries. What I spoke of as their next lives was actually their past lives. All three tragedies are history. Immutable, irreversible history. There's nothing to change anymore. What then did I fight so hard to achieve? What did I accomplish by warning them of their next lives, by convincing them to endeavor to take different paths? Nothing? Was it all for nothing? I go limp at the sight of it all, dropping to my knees and sending ripples through the sea of blood. Morgana, the girl who called me an angel and asked me to deliver her unto her father, is still chained up inside that tower. What did I accomplish? What purpose did anything I do serve? Was it all just a big damn waste of time? My cries go unanswered, simply fading into the dead air. Giselle, who kept me going for so much of this ordeal, is still silent. No, I did accomplish something. It wasn't a waste of time. Everything I did wasn't for nothing. I may not have changed the past, and I may not have stopped their tragedies, but I achieved something. I uncovered their stories. I learned the truth of everyone's involvement. You can't take that away from me. I know you're out there, Morgana. I know you've been watching this whole time. You know the truth now. I accomplished that much. This has to change how you see them, at least a little. If the present Morgana has a change of heart, decides to let go of her hatred, and that should cause the cursed mansion to disappear, set their souls free, I'll take that leap of faith, that what I've done is enough, and make my way back, believing there's a future for them beyond their tragedies. I'm coming back, Morgana. I'm returning to that house, to that world of blackness, seething with hatred, to my present. I'm gonna try this once more. An honest attempt to really see you, to face you, Morgana. I'll be there as soon as I can. Kneeling in a puddle of blood, I turn my gaze toward the heavens. The searing sunlight is slowly eroded by darkness, and my mind, body, and soul follow soon after. Bloody, corpse-riddled courtyard dissolves, and I find myself once more in an utterly lightless void. I clench my teeth as hard as I can manage, squeeze my eyes as tight as I can, because that's the only way I can keep the screams back, the tears from spilling down my cheeks. Michael. Open your eyes, Michael. Come to me. What? Hi, is that Morgana? We meet at last. What? Why is the white-haired girl here? Never mind that. Where am I? I was trying to get back to the mansion. How did I end up here? Do you know who I am? Of course I do. How could I not know who you are? Splendid. But what are you doing here? Why is there a sword in your hand? Michael, you've wanted a sword the whole bloody story. You should just take the bloody sword that she's offering you. Right? And why can I not speak? I was able to return to this gathering place of souls thanks to your efforts. Your uncovering of the truth of those events that transpired so many years ago allowed me to remember everything I had forgotten. Remember who I am. Remember who you are? You mean that you're part of Morgana? My apologies. Bringing your soul here without any preparation has left you in a bit of a nebulous state. My heart told me I had to do this now. Though you have no voice, I can feel your presence quite clearly. O Michael, namesake of the great Archangel Michael and man of tremendous virtue, I have brought you here to ask for your assistance. I pray you will be able to help me. My request for you is simple. Take this blade, and with it, extinguish my soul. You? What are you? Extinguish your soul? I realize that it's cruel for me to ask this of you, and for that, I deeply apologize. But I want it to be you who sends me off. Can you grant this girl her selfish request? It's not why I sought the truth. Not because I wanted to see anyone extinguished, but because I wanted to set everyone free from the mansion's cursed bonds. Because I wanted to put an end to this cycle of pain and suffering. Because I wanted to save every last person caught in this tragic quagmire. That includes you. And you're asking me to eradicate your soul? I must be destroyed. You can't tell me that after everything you've seen, you haven't realized that I have no place in their lives. Well, it's true Morgana wished for misfortune to befall them. If I hadn't been there, none of their tragedies would have taken place. If I hadn't been there, the flaxen-haired girl would have been able to let go of her yearning for her brother. If I hadn't been there, the shipwrecked merchant's lover would not have lost her place as his tether. If I hadn't been there, the ambitious businessman would not have been betrayed by his close friend. Why are you acting like it's all your fault? Are you trying to say everyone would be better off without you? I was not a victim in the tragedies. I'm culpable for them. Culpable? Like hell you were. I saw everything from start to finish. You didn't intend for anything bad to befall anyone. You always acted out of the good of your heart. And you're trying to tell me that makes you culpable? What do you say we answer one last lingering question, Michael? Question of what I am. The explanation might be a bit lengthy, but I would like to share it with you before I depart. I was, as you discerned, created by Morgana's mind as it broke down in the tower. I was born to be a receptacle for her pain, ease her suffering. There's more to the story than that, Michael. Upon her death, Morgana's soul was afflicted with great pain resulting from the hatred and resentment she bore. The fact that she viewed herself as a saint only served to amplify that agony. Her identity as a saint gave her purpose in life, while simultaneously constraining her. A saint must put herself second to all others. She must be caring, generous, forgiving, and she must not bear any ill will for anyone. That was not how she felt deep down, though. She was not a saint out of the goodness of her heart. She wanted to hate them, but her identity would not allow her. Those two conflicting aspects of herself tore Morgana apart. She was unable to withstand it. So she took all her saintly characteristics and gave them to me. Caring for others, putting herself second, being forgiving. And then she severed that part of her soul. Oh, that makes sense. So that's why you seemed so abnormally pure-hearted. I was no longer a part of Morgana, but something entirely separate. However, I wasn't me yet either. When you came to the mansion and resurrected Morgana, you resurrected me as well. But I had no self at first. I was, I suppose, not much different than the particles of dust floating around the mansion. But eventually, that dust gained a sense of self, taking form as a human soul. It descended into the realm of man and the fate which governs it. What do you think the first thing a new soul wishes for when it is born, Michael? To live. I wished for a continued existence in this world, in a world where I was never meant to exist. I refused to accept that there's anything wrong with wanting to live. I was supposed to remain within Morgana, as a part of her. I was never meant to be a soul of my own. To become one was to turn against the laws of the universe. I wished to live, and Morgana wished to curse the three men's souls. Though we sought after completely separate things, because we were once two parts of a whole, each of our wishes was shaped by the others. In order for an incomplete soul like mine to survive, it needs something to bind itself to the world, something strong enough to prevent the universe from correcting the anomaly. And so the wish of that anomaly gave birth to yet another anomaly, a house that sat outside the currents of time, one that could descend into the mortal realm at various times and places. And it was that house that served as a tether for my soul. And it wasn't Morgana's power that created the mansion, but your own wish? And why did it have to be that house that bound me to the world? Because that was where she lingered, the girl from which I was formed. Which meant that my wish had the consequence of granting Morgana's with it. The house, having attained perpetuity, served as a place for those reconstructed by Morgana's curse to return to. Furthermore, my connection with her had another consequence. I was the one most affected by her wish. As much as I may have wanted to do good, for them to be happy, my fate was dictated by her wish. In that position, my merely showing affection for anyone was damnable. Falling in love was an act of villainy. My very presence malevolent. Don't say that. I was the true witch, the true demon child. Stop talking, please. It should never have been possible for me to have a life at all. Please, stop. The universe must be returned to its proper state, Michael. Don't talk about yourself like that. I must be erased, and Morgana's soul restored to its original form. But why? I do not belong here. I never belonged here. What's so wrong with wanting to live? The defect must be repaired. You're not a defect. Damn it, why couldn't I be able to get an word in now, at least? The restoration will not be instantaneous. It took many, many years for me to be formed, and it will take as long, if not longer, for the process to be reversed. But her soul will eventually return to its proper state. And perhaps, when her soul is restored, Morgana won't be a human. Perhaps she will be a butterfly resting upon the lip of a flower. Perhaps she will be that flower. Perhaps she will be the breeze in which the flower sways. But whatever form she takes, it will be her, whole and complete. With me gone, no more tragedies should take place. So please, take this sword and extinguish me. Put an end to this cycle of misery. I want you to be the one who does it. Please. Kill me. You're asking too much of me. Yes, I want to save Morgana's soul. Do you really have to die for that to happen? Wait, is this the bad end or the good end? I actually have no idea. Like, killing her is probably the good end, right? Yeah, let's do that instead. I changed my mind. Thank God for autosaves. Wait, it didn't autosave? That's obnoxious. Wait, is it gonna do this at, like, manual speed? That's also obnoxious. Can I, like, jump to next choice? Big backlog save load. Why didn't it give me the autosave, though? That's kind of obnoxious. I mean, it's my fault for not saving, but I assumed it was a time choice. And, like... I had to, right? I guess I could just load from here and then skip from there. That's faster than skipping from the last one I did. You'd think that a visual novel would have an option to skip to the next choice, but I guess this one doesn't. Unfortunate. Alright, y'all don't have to watch the rest of this, so I'm gonna cut to the choice in the video when I upload it. Actually, no, it's in like 5 seconds, so I'm not actually gonna do that. Y'all get to suffer through this with me. Okay, so now we have actually a save for the choice. It's funny, like the one time I want to go back to a choice in the autosave, it doesn't do it. Alright. Although maybe this isn't a choice. Maybe I'm just gonna like sit here for 10 seconds and then feel really dumb. Is this not a time choice? Was the last like 3 minutes of my life just completely pointless? Alright, I'm a dumbass. You're asking too much of me. Yes, I want to save Morgana's soul. But do you really have to die for that to happen? Is there not some other way? Won't you do this for me? I cannot. I could never take that sword. I know it's unfair of me to ask this of you, but I want it to be you. As selfish a request as it may be, I want the curtain drawn on this ersatz life by the man I admired so deeply. You admired me? Let's talk a little bit about that admiration, shall we? And where I got my physical appearance. Oh! That makes sense. This goes back to when I was a mere particulate matter drifting about the house. While I still had no mind of my own at that point, I witnessed everything that took place within the house. And in the moment of your death, Michael, was I born. You saw my death? Your actions that day appeared to me as the very definition of selfless and honorable. Your life bore many similarities with Morgana's. You were both abused, imprisoned, called a witch. But while Morgana sought vengeance, you watched your own mother burn your crucified body, and you wished for release rather than revenge. There's nothing honorable about that. I just lost all hope for myself. I expect you'll disagree with me, say that it was a sign of your weakness. But that was not how I interpreted it. Self-sacrifice being one of the core characteristics Morgana gave to me, I was deeply moved. You didn't curse those who had wronged you in life. You chose your own destruction. And I admired that strength of spirit. That admiration helped to shape my wish, to determine the form I would take, the name I would have. That's why, whenever I gained a physical body, it was modeled after yours, with snow-white hair and ruby-red eyes. Why my name was always Michelle, after the same angel from whom you took yours. I'm in no way worthy of anyone's admiration. My admiration caused both you and the woman you love a great deal of pain, and for that I apologize. But it also shows just how much I wanted to be like you. I would ask for you, if you would be so kind, consider this a great favor for a starry-eyed little girl. A girl who, quite literally, idolized you to her very soul. Don't. I couldn't ask for a greater honor. How can you tell me that? And to be erased from the world by you, my idol. And then ask me to kill you. Please, Michael. Be the one to send me off. No matter how many times you ask, I can't kill someone who's told me they wanted to live. I know what it's like to wish for life. I don't know if you've realized it yet, Michael, but this is the first time we've actually met. The story of the fourth door was Morgana's creation, which means that, until now, we've never been in the same place while both aware of the other's presence. As far as you should be concerned, I'm a complete stranger, yet still you hesitate. I'm glad that you're reluctant, but you've shown me enough sympathy. I don't consider you a stranger at all. Indeed, this is the first time we formally met, but I've watched you go through so much. I've seen you live 3 different lives. I've seen the impact you had on the people behind all 3 of those doors. You are in no way a stranger. With my erasure, Morgana's soul will eventually become whole again. Curse, and the eternal cycle of agony it brings, will be no more. When I am gone, everything will return to its rightful place. I implore you to not hesitate any longer. Are there really no other options? Is killing you really the only way to make things right? To release everyone from this curse? I'm delighted to have finally been able to meet you, the man after whom I modeled myself. I'm incapable of taking my own life, Michael. God's teachings prohibit it, and as such, my identity as a saint prevents me from doing so. No, I don't want you to commit suicide. I want to find some way for you to live, to remain a part of this world. I know that by asking this of you, I am causing you great heartache, and for that I offer you my sincerest apologies. But so long as I continue to exist in this world, Morgana can never truly have redemption. Tell me, who is it you've been fighting so hard to save? That doesn't mean that I didn't want to save you too. I believed I could save everyone summoned to the mansion, that no one would have to suffer anymore, that there would be no more tragedies. Michael, take the sword, please. Worry not, Michael. Doing this will allow you to save everyone. Cast off the darkness inhabiting the house. Set all its prisoners free. Give Morgana her salvation. And give me mine as well. Extinguishing my soul will be my salvation. I've had a full, satisfying life, even if every moment of it was rooted in iniquity. I had well beyond my share of happiness. I don't need any more. Oh, Michael, namesake of the great Archangel Michael and man of tremendous virtue, I ask of you to please draw this cycle of misfortune to an end, to take this blade and deliver everyone from their fates. It must be you, Michael. You must be the one to do this. Is this one a time choice? This feels like a time choice. Nope. Guess not. Thank you, Michael, for having the strength to do what must be done. And I apologize for putting you in such a difficult position. Once my soul has been erased, I'll be gone from this world forever. I will not return, not in this or any other form. I feel no woe in that knowledge, though. I welcome my destruction with the utmost of joy. However, if it wouldn't be too much to ask, for you to keep just a little bit of me, in a corner of your soul, Michael, to remember me, to remember the life I lived, that would make it all worthwhile. Thank you, Michael. You may very well be a genuine. The whiteness surrounding me evaporates, and I find myself back in the observation tower. I can still feel in my hand the impact of the sword piercing her breast. Damn it! Why? Why couldn't there have been some other way? Erasing a soul is not salvation. God damn it all! She deserved better. So much better than that. No. Now is not the time to grieve. There's work to be done. A girl to whom I must offer the chance for salvation. I mustn't cry over the white-haired girl's death now. There are things I need to take care of first. Morgana. Morgana stands there, staring off absently into the distance. After some time, she slowly turns to face me. What exactly was all that about? Come on, say something. Answer me! Morgana. How? It doesn't make any sense. He and the Lord, they couldn't... There were 2 different lords. The one at the estate, and the one who locked you in the tower. How? What was he doing there? That's not... I didn't... The man I was trying to curse was the Lord who threw the blood sabbats. How did I... Are you saying I remember wrong? That's ridiculous. I won't hear it. I won't have it for a second. You're in a very tenuous condition, Morgana. More than even you realize. You can't assume everything you saw in that state of mind to be true. Why? Just why? That only makes it that much worse. Why would he do that? How could he kill me? He said he would show me the world. I cried for him. And he turns out to be the one pulling the strings? You saw what led to this. You heard what he had to say for himself. Misunderstandings that went unresolved. It should have been cleared up immediately. What he did was wrong. Indefensible as far as I'm concerned. This could all have been avoided if he had told you everything. That said, Morgana, I can somewhat sympathize with how he felt then. You can sympathize with that monster? In what way? He loved you. Sincerely loved you. And be the target of such vitriol from a girl he cared so dearly about. To be mistaken for someone else entirely. I can understand how that would have hurt. Doesn't matter. That doesn't change anything. Like I said before you started all this, it doesn't change anything. Does this revelation change what happened to me? Does it make me any less of a hate-filled witch? What does it matter if he had his reasons? What does it matter if he's not who I thought he was? It doesn't change the fact that I despise him with every fiber of my being. It's time to let go, Morgana. I met with the white-haired girl. I know her true nature. That's not me. You're right. I cannot definitively say that you and the white-haired girl are one and the same. However, I can say with certainty that she was part of you. A creation of your broken spirit. The fact remains that she was closer to you than anyone else. In every sense of the word. Can you see the situation you're in, Morgana? The terrible, tragic irony of it all? You've cursed yourself along with everyone else. You brought ruin to a life of your own creation, numerous times. You murdered yourself. It's time to let go, Morana. There's only pain to be found in continuing down this road. Morgana. Take a step toward her, and she steps back, quietly maintaining our distance. I can almost hear her trembling in her voice as she says, "Stay back. You. Stay away from me. You have nothing to be afraid of, Morgana. I won't hurt you." I said stay back, you. I bet you think this is hilarious, that I'm blind and a fool. Morgana. Yes, good on you, my dear. You've revealed my big secret, that I'm a feeble-minded little girl with a poor memory. You've uncovered the truth of my death. Discovered the white-haired girl's true identity. I always presumed she was you. How foolish of me. Laughing like I knew anything. Cursing the entirely wrong man. Absolutely brilliant, you might say. I've made myself into quite the laughingstock. I'm not going to laugh about your pain, Morgana. I've come to realize that perhaps I empathize with you out of more than just our shared loneliness. We were both yoked with unimaginable misfortune, lived our lives in lamentation of our fates. I understand your pain. That boat has long since sailed. You're right, it has. This is a realization I should have come to much sooner. Though you said it wouldn't have mattered, I should still have made an effort to get to know you in life. I feel guilty about how I constantly pushed you away. So, I'd like to make up for that now. I approach Morgana, hands stretch out towards her. She stands there, bewildered, as I place them on her shoulders, pulling her in. Not for my own comfort, as I had so many times before, and not out of some pretend sense of pity for a sad pile of bones. I embrace her, and all the pain and loneliness she holds inside. Her body gives off no warmth, and it's weightless as the skeleton all those many years ago. She, like me, lost so much in life, but unlike me, she had no one there in her final moments. It's all right, Morgana. Everything's okay now. The tale behind the fourth door may have been a fabrication, but the creator's soul is always somewhere to be found in her creations. Knowing the inseparable link between her and the white-haired girl, that's where I'll find what I'm looking for. I'm here for you. You're not alone, Morgana. We can end all this suffering, together. It's going to be okay. What's wrong with you? Have you completely lost it? Do I need to remind you of everything I've done? Of all the pain I've caused you? No reminders necessary. You did quite a number on me indeed. And what do you want to tell me? How we went from that? From you and do you want to tell me how we went from that to you holding me? You didn't do what you did out of a particular grudge against me. Of that much, I was always certain. So I hold nothing against you. I bear no ill will. Nor, I'm certain, does Giselle. You're much too forgiving. I imagine there's something about having experienced the kind of pain we have that makes it hard to harbor any ill will towards one of our kind. Shared trauma or not, you and that woman really are something. God, there are no words. For how much you irritate me. Bite slowly drains from Morgana's voice, and in the quiet, I think I hear a muffled attempt to hold back a whimper. I pull away slightly, putting a hand under her chin and lifting her head. She quickly averts her eyes, but doesn't knock my hands away as I reach them into her hood, gently setting them against her cheeks. I run my fingers across the exposed flesh, and slowly pull back the hood covering her face. Well, look at that. Quite pretty without your face hidden. You'd think you were the flattering type. I assure you I'm not. Go on, touch your cheeks. Now this is the girl you were always meant to be. Morgana had had a less harrowing life. This is probably what she would have looked like at 16. You know, you look a little like the white-haired girl. You look nothing alike, I can assure you of that. She was the very antithesis of me. But she was also once part of you. It's the last thing I want, to be like her in any way. Why is that? Because I never liked that girl at all. Always putting others before herself. Watching her was aggravating. Although, in retrospect, she was everything about myself I deemed unnecessary. So that might explain why it was so hard to watch. Also, I was so sure she was you, which made it all the more frustrating. Why would her being me bother you so much? Because that wasn't you. You're aggressive, you yell, you fight. Is that how she saw me? How wouldn't it bother me that you came back as a quiet, passive, subservient girl? Of course, now that I know it wasn't you, so... You were that sure it was me, despite thinking we were nothing alike? Apparently so. Hold on a second. Why would that bother you? She has the hots for you, Michael, okay? I'll let you figure that one out. It's not important. So, you've got my attention. What are you planning to do now? To leave the mansion with you. Set everyone free and break the curse. Setting them free will set you free as well. Do you want me to release their souls? Exactly. Just so you know, I haven't forgiven them. My hatred isn't just going to vanish like it was nothing. I'll never be able to forgive them completely. But you're right. This has gone on long enough. Morgana, I'm not even sure what I'm doing anymore, and it's all your fault. So sure, I'll release their souls. I'm so glad to hear it. However, I don't want to see them alone. I'm not sure I'll be able to set them free if I have to face them on my own. That won't be a problem. I'll go with you. We'll go see them together. You get to be my guide this time, then. You get to take up Giselle's old mantle. That I do. Even if it means taking this hand. You honestly think I have any reservations about that? God, I swear. You really are the worst. Lead the way, my dear, where their souls wait. Hand in hand, we travel the Cursed Mansion's corridors. The halls overflow with darkness, cut off from the sun and devoid of color. Having spent so much time in this place, it's never stopped being depressingly gloomy. No one, for any reason, should be left behind in a place like this. We cross through the living room, making our way to the back garden door. There are no children laughing beyond the door, but I can faintly smell flowers. Michael, what am I supposed to say to them? Nothing comes to mind, you don't have to say anything. I get the feeling they'll have something to say to you, though. So if you would, try to hear them out. I'm not looking forward to this. It'll go fine, I promise. Nothing that happens could possibly make things worse than they already are. Michael? Don't jinx it. The only way to go from here is up, so up we go. Let's go then, I suppose. A hollow breeze brushes past the gray-filled rose garden. The shadow there turns toward us. It gradually starts looking more and more like the young man it once was. Morgana? It's okay. We're here to free your soul. Michael. Forgive me for what I did, Morgana? No, I don't. All this means is I'm done cursing you. Either way, thank you. I know what I'm doing here now. Or, I guess, I remember what I'm doing here. I deserve to be cursed after everything I've done to you. It can't have been easy, that's for sure. I'm sorry for all the pain I caused. What's done is done. I guess. Still, I wasn't lying when I said I wanted to be friends. I meant it. I really did. I know now why you did what you did, why you sold me out. Some people might say you had no other choice, but as the girl you actually sold out, those are words you'll never hear from my lips. Fair enough. Nonetheless, objectively speaking, you too were a victim. Do you not resent me for punishing you in spite of that? Huh? I presume you're now able to recall everything. Both your first life, and the second one I subjected you to, when the house was called Rose Manor. Yeah. What happened then was the result of my wish. You have every right to despise me. The way I see it, with or without your curse, Nellie would still have had the same feelings for me. It was my fault for being too dense to realize she thought of me as more than a brother. Things would have turned out the way they did regardless. The white-haired girl was the spark that set her off, though, and it was because of me that she ended up at the mansion. My wish was to see your life utterly ruined, and in service of that desire, the white-haired girl was born into that era as your half-sister. So I disagree. My curse did play a significant role in your fate. Regardless, I don't think it would be right of me to blame you. Things turned out the way they did, because I was weak and ran from the problem instead of facing it. Michelle wouldn't have had to get hurt either, if only I'd had more of a spine. I guess calling her Michelle is kind of confusing with Michael here, huh? How should I refer to her then? Girl Michelle, then? Creativity is not your strong suit, is it? She wouldn't happen to be around, would she? She's departed from this world. Or perhaps it would be better to say, she's returned to her rightful place in it. The girl you knew as Michelle is gone forever. That's too bad. I was hoping I could apologize to her, too. I believe you've made your feelings quite clear. Not that she would hold it against you if you didn't apologize. It's simply her nature. Oh. Well, Morgana, I'm so sorry for everything. I'm going to free your soul from the bonds of this cursed mansion, after which it return to its rightful place. Okay. But before that, I've got one last thing I'd like to say. To you, Michael. To me. It was a bit hazy, but I did kind of get to see what you were up until a little bit ago. If you hadn't done what you did for me, for Nellie, for Morgana, for everyone, I'm not sure I would have been able to work up the guts to apologize. I'm pretty sure I would have still been convinced I wasn't at fault. It may not have been real, but your effort wasn't in vain. Thank you. You're welcome. Well, I guess this is goodbye. Farewell, Mel. Till our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate. Goodbye, Morgana. You don't have to tell me he wasn't a bad person. Bad people aren't the only ones who do bad things. That's true, yes. But having a conscience can be a double-edged sword. The regrets so overwhelm you, you don't want to believe you can do something so awful, that some outside force must be to blame. So I hope you're willing to accept at least part of his apology. Lead the way, my dear, where the next soul waits. Honestly, I'm be a little bit upset if we don't go swing by the painting again with George's in it. I assume we will. I'd be really surprised if we didn't. The staircase leading to the cellar is quiet, the air still. No sounds of flesh being devoured, no stench of blood. Just darkness reaching ever downward. I'm going to have to ask you to go in first this time. I don't mind, but why? I'd rather not be skewered. Fine, I'm sure. I doubt it'll attack. I can't say I'm anywhere near as confident as you. So you get to be my meat shield, should anything go wrong. Ah, so that's what I am to her. We may not have bodies, but we are still capable of feeling pain. You don't have to remind me. I have to say, I'm surprised you actually made it to the top of the tower. Is that supposed to be a compliment? Half and half. Regardless, don't assume you're safe just because you're already dead. If he were to attack and destroy your soul, you would be erased for all eternity. There would be no coming back in any shape or form, after any amount of time. Just something to keep in mind. Not worried. We shouldn't have any trouble talking to him. If you say so. Off we go. I push open the cellar door. Behind it, a shadow of a man sits on the floor, leaning against a stack of boxes. He slowly rises to his feet upon hearing us enter, and as he does, the blackness dissolves away, revealing the man. I almost didn't recognize you. Your face, it's not how I remember. It's back to normal. I see. So you weren't a witch. You were a pretty human girl. You look a little like the blind girl. No, I do not. Not one bit. If anything, he looks far more like her than I. White hair, red eyes, they even almost have the same name. I think comparing her to a large, door-looking man like is a bit disrespectful. Dour? Don't pretend you look any more approachable. He's not even half the man you think he is. Is that really necessary, Morgana? He is a man. He's indisputably a man, no matter what reason you have to claim otherwise. Actually, can angels be male or female? Can you please cut it out with the angel thing already? So, what brings you two down here? We're here to free your soul. You're forgiving me? Absolutely not. However, I've decided there's no point in punishing you any further. I see. You are, in no uncertain terms, one of the most evil men I've ever encountered. I can hardly argue with that. Should you so desire, I can eradicate you. Morgana, what are... Let me finish, Michael. Instead of letting your soul return, I can erase it. Your existence is a scar on the world. The allure of killing is too strong for you to resist. Even without my curse, it would bring pain and misfortune on others. You're right, and that would probably be for the best. The world would be better off without me. And I know that. I do. But I don't want to disappear. As you wish, then I will release your soul. Before I go, allow me to burn this into my soul. I must resist temptation if you are to blend in. So in my next life, I won't be a killer. I suppose it's worth trying? Do your best. I will. Farewell, Yukimasa. Until our souls cross paths once more into the boundless sphere of fate. Farewell, Morgana. He's not the only one who derived pleasure from others' pain. Morgana. It's strange. Setting them free, I both feel like a weight's been lifted. And like I'm the greatest villain of them all. Perhaps by forgiving them, you can come to forgive yourself. But if I forgive them, what does it make everything I've done up until now? First step toward moving on. Did you forgive those who wronged you then? The woman who tormented you? Your brother who made a mockery of you? Your eldest brother who took your life? Your mother so unwilling to accept you she burned you at the stake? The villagers who falsely accused you of being a witch? Your father who raped the woman you love? Can you forgive them? If they were willing to repent. And if they weren't? What if they showed up intent on causing you more pain? Then I suppose I'm not acting much better than any of them right now. Let's go. We have one more soul to free. Wait, no, go back. That was George's. There's something I've been meaning to ask you. Giselle really there? With you? Because I can't sense her at all. If she were in the mansion, I would know. But I can't feel her presence anywhere. Be honest with me. You can't feel her either, can you? Are you sure? Her soul hasn't extinguished? She's here, I'm certain of it. Lost somewhere deep in the mansion's darkness. Once we've purged that darkness, she should be free to return. I have faith in her. I see. Well, I'm not sure how much this means coming from me, but I hope you see her again. I will. Thank you. I'm actually rather fond of her, Giselle. Although, I suppose it's hard not to get a little attached to someone you spent several hundred years with. Just attached? Giselle, she's fairly fond of you herself. I can only hope. Yeah, but how much of that is Stockholm Syndrome? The smell of cigarette smoke seeps through the cracks in the den door. It's perfectly quiet behind it, however. No chatter or clacking of billiards balls. Morgana appears slightly reluctant to step through the door. Or perhaps she's tense. Shall we? Her hand in mine. I push open the door. A shadow is perched on the edge of a dark green rectangular table. He freezes for a moment when he hears us enter, quickly finding his composure and marching toward us, determination in his step. The shadows dissolve, revealing the man. Morgana. Your face. It healed. It did. It's been a long time coming. And would you look at that, not a letdown. Was it him that healed you? Yes, it was him. Well, I'll be. I was always hoping I'd be the one to have the honor. You lost that qualification when you... Yeah, I know. I'm the one who made you into a witch. The one who killed you. I don't expect, or deserve, your forgiveness. I'd still like a chance to make amends, in any way you wish. Even if it means being cursed for all eternity. I'm here to release your soul. Once that's done, that's it from me. No curses, no forgiveness. Nothing. Huh. So you're cutting ties completely. Damn. Truthfully, I had no idea how you felt about me. But that ship sailed long ago. Far, far too long ago. No, my ship! I know. Nothing can change how I feel about you. Not anymore. I bet. I'm going to release your soul now. You hold off on that a minute? I don't expect you to reciprocate, or even accept. But if I don't put my feelings into words, I'll never get them through to you. I think that's how she put it anyway. So I asked for this one last chance to put them into words. Morgana. Fine. The girl with the white hair, my wife. Shell? What of her? Something about that name always felt off to me. I could never shake the feeling that calling her that was somehow wrong. When I first saw her, first saw that smile, I was dead certain that she was what I'd always been missing from my life. That I had finally found what I'd been searching for. And now, I know why. Because I felt you in her. Memories of you ingrained on my soul. You should know better than anyone that we're nothing alike. That girl wouldn't say anything remotely impolite to you even if you held a knife to her throat. You're right, you're nothing alike. But you've both got this aura about you that drew me in. Your soul's aura. I loved you dearly, Morgana. I've got no right to ask anything of you, I know. But could you maybe smile for me? Just once is all I ask. Morgana's not having any of this shit. I can't do it. I should. I know I should. That would let us end things on a nice note. But I can't force myself to smile. It wouldn't be fair. Yeah, I guess you're right. Sorry for putting you in that position. I've said my piece. I'm ready now. Okay. Very well, then. Farewell, Jacopo. Till our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate. Goodbye, Morgana. You couldn't have done anything more for him? Such as? I won't deny that my feelings about him are complicated, but the things he did to me, they eclipse all that. Merely learning the truth, hearing how he felt, is nowhere near enough to erase that. Couldn't you at least put a little hope in your next lives? Maybe you two could try again? No, I can't. I don't want to encounter him ever again. Ever. Then, if nothing else, do you try not to forget that he did save you once? Suppose. But my salvation, Michael, was not ultimately at his hands. I was watching to the very end. It may have been all an illusion, constructed from the memories of everyone's souls. But that didn't make your actions any less real. The things you said to me, your earnest desperation. Learning the truth is only partly why I decided to release their souls. The biggest reason, however, was seeing how far you went for me. If you hadn't been there for my death, if you hadn't done what you did, then I would not have freed them. Nonetheless, is it unfair of me to wish you'd shown him that smile instead, Morgana? Well, that's the last of them. Shall we be off now? The front door should open now that I'm not willing it closed any longer. Shall we take our leave of this house? We did it! We get to go say hi to George's! There's still one more soul that needs releasing. Be my guide. Still holding Morgana's hand, I make my way to the wall, where the landscape painting hangs. You told me to come back if I ever found out your name. Figured out your name, George's. Hey, Michael. Hello. How'd you figure out it was me? Of course I'd recognize my own brother. Well, granted I didn't recognize you at first. Not every day your big bro winds up as a painting, huh? Came as quite the surprise when I finally made the connection. That it did. Hold on a minute. You two are brothers? I assumed you knew. Oh, hello there. Quite the companion you've got there, Michael. So what brings you two to my little corner of the house? I've decided I'm going to extinguish the mansion. Oh really? Well, isn't that something? You act like I've just told you what I'm having for supper. This place is going to disappear. Forever. Well, yeah, sure, but what brought about this? I've lost interest in cursing them. Ah, now that's some good news. You seem to get along surprisingly well with her. Time out the hoo-ha and no one else to talk Time out the hoo-ha and nobody else to talk to will do that to you. Not that she ever gave me the time of day much. You expect me to stand here and listen to you yammer on for hours on end? The only thing you're good for is tossing rubbish into. Wait, so she was the one who put the master bedroom key in the painting? That she was. Just tossed her right on in without even asking. Why would you get rid of the key to my room? I had no use for it. And being in that room always made me uncomfortable. It has this terrible warmth to it. I can't stand it. Sure glad she only tossed the key, though. Would have been bad if she'd thrown me out with it. I didn't see the need. I did find it curious there was a soul here I hadn't summoned, but you were ultimately harmless. So I simply pretended you weren't there. So she ignored him for hundreds of years. I understand now what you meant, Michael, when you said this world didn't belong only to me. Your brother was able to find his way here, because it's a place deeply bound to your soul. I'm no expert on none of this spiritual stuff. All I know is, one day, I was just here. Here and full of regret. So if I had to guess, I'd say I probably ended up here because I wanted to be somewhere I could feel you, Michael. George's. Would you be so kind as to let me apologize? I know quite well how sorry you are. You've already apologized once besides. I went years not seeing you, not hearing from you, not having any idea what you thought about me. So when I got that painting, it was a huge blow to me emotionally. But talking to you again has reminded me what kind of person you really are, George's. You didn't mean to hurt me. Nope. Honestly, I had no idea what I was doing. Mom said paint it, so I painted it. And when she told me she'd sent it off to you, I didn't really think anything of it. Never even crossed my mind to think about how you felt out there, all alone. The kind of pain you were going through just because of the way you were born. When you're not the one on the receiving end, it's easy to be completely blind to your own actions. It never even occurred to me that we'd essentially exiled you, Michael. Not until it was all over. Really, all I can say, sorry you got stuck with such a dope for a brother. All I had to do was think about it for 2 seconds and I would have realized what we were doing. And, you know, at the time I thought, it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl, you're still you. But I was wrong, it's not that simple. I can only imagine someone coming up to me one day and saying, nah, you're actually a girl. And everyone I care about suddenly not wanting anything to do with me. What a drag that'd be. I'm real sorry, bro. It's okay, Georges. I forgive you. Thanks. I wanted so badly to see you and Didier again, Georges. And while I didn't get that chance in life, I'm still glad to have the opportunity to talk to you now. To hear the things you never got to say. It pains me to see you reduced to this form. But knowing that it's a result of overwhelming regret, and you were just that desperate to find me again, warms my heart. What on earth was that? Me trying my damnedest not to burst into tears? I don't think it worked very well, though. Does the canvas look wet? Did you feel it for me? I think I'll pass. Not feeling up for any brotherly love? Honestly, I'm relieved to see you're the same George as I always knew. Changing ain't really my thing, after all. Suppose it isn't. This doesn't sit right with me. What? Why not? You're letting him off the hook far too easily, Michael. I know very well just how much pain that painting caused you. Might as well have been what resurrected me. I've moved past that, though. Make him pay for what he did. Scribble on him. Do what? Scrawl your anger all over that ridiculous painting. But I'm not angry. Now that's a damn fine idea if I ever heard one. You most definitely need to make me pay, Michael. Georges? Go on, hit me with everything you got. Scribble away. Even if I wanted to, I have nothing to draw with. Just use your finger and I'll trace it out for you. Come on, what are you waiting for? He really wants me to draw on him, doesn't he? He more than deserves it, Michael. Bring it on, Michael. This conversation got bizarre fast. Okay. I'll draw on you. Oh my. Now that is downright ghastly. What? You might actually have potential, Michael. Voodoo dolls are the last thing I expected from you. 4 of them at that. And a demonic being aside them. Oh, I can just feel your burning rancor, Michael. That's not what I drew at all. Then what is it? It's not important. Now that it's finished, I think it's time we all took our leave. Ooh, can I come too? Well, I might need a little help with that, Michael. As you can see, walking ain't one of my talents. It's alright, I'll carry you. Careful taking me off my hook. By all means, feel free to drop him, Michael. I must say, that is a rather amusing sight. Certainly not every day you get to see a full-grown man-turned painting being hauled down in a spooky hall by a little bro. Georges. It does make me wonder, though, are you two really brothers? I have a hard time believing you share even a drop of blood with this obnoxious lout, Michael. We are brothers, right, Georges? Whoa, don't you start questioning it too, Michael. We are absolutely positively 100% brothers. She has a good point, though. We don't even look that much alike. No shocking family plot twists here. I've known you since you were a baby, Michael. Maybe you were secretly illegitimate, Georges, not me. You're not gonna let go of this, are you? I'm just playing with you. Oh my god, you just laughed. Yes? What? I didn't get to see it. What was it like? Give me all the details. An ordinary laugh. Is the world ending? It's not that big a deal. I laugh just like everyone else. No, you most certainly do not. Nope, you definitely don't. Well, so much for my tearful reunion with the brother I always knew and loved. Anyway, since we're breaking character here, how about one from our favorite witch, too? No cackling, that doesn't count. Excuse me? Why would you want me to? Because every time I've seen you smile, it's never been about anything good. Plus, now that you got your face back, you're actually quite the looker. Go on, give me a big old grin. Not happening. Come on! Hey, fine. If you don't want to do it for me, pretend it's for Michael. What do I have to do with anything? You can do it for old Michael, can't ya? Show him those pearly whites, girly. Oh, if you insist, I suppose I can smile for Michael, but only him. Excuse me? Was that supposed to be my voice? Because I do not sound anything like that. Look at you, all puffing your cheeks and red in the face. Georges, try not to tease her too much. I don't know how anyone can stand you. It's like every word that comes out of your mouth exists solely to ruin the mood. You know, maybe it wouldn't hurt to lighten up a bit. This is the end of a long journey, but that doesn't mean we have to make it a somber and uptight affair. I am genuinely not sure how I feel about you, the most somberly uptight man I know, telling me to lighten up. He's got a point, but I'm not that bad, am I? Anyway, shall we be off now? That we shall! The witch and her band of merry men departs. I'm not sure if one man and a talking painting constitutes a band. Giselle, I know we'll find each other again. I have faith we will. We'll cast away this mansion's darkness, and then I'll await your return, no matter how long it takes. Yes, I think it's time we took our leave. Having finished what we set out to do, and retrieved George's as well, we make our way to the mansion's entrance hall. A large door stands there, firmly shut, holding in the darkness it has for countless generations. But that time is almost at an end, the door ready to be opened, to end the cycle and begin anew. Being a painting for all these years, I never realized just how big this place was. All I ever got to see was a hallway and maybe a couple of doors. I mean, talk about dull, you know? Feels like I'm on an adventure, exploring a whole new world. A very, very dark world. Michael, would you mind shutting him up? If only it were that simple. Can you blame me for being talkative? It's a lonely life. That would be fine if you had any concept of the appropriate time and place to be chatty. Are you aware of where we are right now? The entrance, by the looks of things. Precisely! The end to a centuries-long act of vengeance is but a few feet beyond that door. And you're chatting away like it's another day at the court. Try to maintain at least a semblance of gravity, if you would. Starting to notice you're rather ceremonious, aren't you, Morgana? This is a day to be celebrated, not to be stiff and all no fun allowed. Are you not at all worried? There's no guarantee any hope lies beyond that door. After all, when the mansion disappears, so too will we. And that is the rightful state of things. Our present forms may cease to exist, but our souls will live on. And as long as they do, we will eventually return to the world. Let us press onward, not fearing a temporary end. Well said, Michael. If I had feet, you'd have just swept me right off them. Georges, I'm beginning to wonder what would happen if I threw you at the wall. Now, let's not do anything hasty. For God's sake. You're the guide. Let's go then, shall we? Morgana's right. There's a severe lack of gravity to the affair. But thanks to George's lackadaisical nature, whatever fear I had is gone as well. His ever-playful interactions bring me back to when I was alive. When it was me and my two brothers. Fond memories of the times we had together, of the admiration I had for them, of me chasing after them. Nothing could possibly replace those days, and I'm glad I had a chance to reflect on them, if briefly, before the end. I take us a few steps forward, stopping just in front of the door, and Morgana steps up beside me. I envision the light that lies beyond it, radiant and white, waiting to rip through the darkness. The light we seek, that we've long sought. I take in a deep breath, look up at the door, place my hand on its hard surface, and push it open, welcoming the future it holds. Burn the witch. What? Crucify the impure. Take one step back, then another. What we find outside is not a blinding realm of light, but churning blackness and the stench of blood and rust. Metal clanks, growing louder with each heavy footstep of the approaching night. We gotta have the family reunion, right? Death to the unholy. 3 days and 3 nights, hanged upon the cross, purified by the fires of heaven. Death. What's going on? I never summoned this thing! Even though we're no longer holding hands, I can feel Morgana trembling. She's no longer the witch, the once absolute ruler of this domain, but a frightened young girl. Placing my arm around her shoulders and pulling her in, I stare, half dumbfounded at the night. It is our holy duty, as knights of the church, to deliver punishment unto the heathen who made a pact with the devil. The night draws nearer and nearer, its movement sluggish but constant. Didier, wait, for real? Crucify the witch. Cast judgment upon the demon. The word witch, coming from the delirious, vengeful phantom's mouth, proves far more distressful for Morgana than me. Whoa, hold on. What's Dee doing here? Please, come to your senses, Didier. I know it's you. Judgment, crucifixion, execution. No, I'm not. I'm not a witch! The knight is partially occluded by the dark, writhing miasma enveloping him, but he bears the same muscular build as the Didier I knew in life, and he's unwaveringly determined to see us executed. Didier, this is not how I hoped our reunion would go, Didier. Why, after so very long, is this how the three of us find each other again? This is another thing I should have seen coming. Like, it doesn't make a huge amount of sense thematically to have Michael's arc resolved without having him reunite with just one of his brothers. Images flashed through my mind. The day I left the Bollinger estate, when Didier promised me we would one day meet again. Them each giving me a hug before I climbed into the carriage. First Didier, then George's. Is this my fault? Is he here because I wish to be reunited with my brothers? Is this the way fate chose to grant that wish? Burn the witch. Ah, well look at that. Guess I'm not your only blockheaded brother, huh? George's. Before you get any bright ideas, Michael, it's not your fault our long-awaited family reunion didn't go quite as planned. Just like me, Dee cursed himself. Only it seems his was a whole lot more painful. God, I really didn't pay a lick of attention to either of you, did I? The unclean witch must be purified from this world. It is my duty. Hey, Dee, you in there? I shoved a whole lot of crap onto your plate. Keeping the family name up, taking care of Mom, just about everything I could leave to you I did. I must uphold the honor of the family name. And then, when it was all over, I blamed you for killing our little brother. I was convinced you could do anything, that you were stronger than anyone. Crucify the witch. I'm sorry, Dee. Burn the witch. He continues his plodding march forward, seemingly unaffected. It's impossible to tell if George's words are getting through to him. Stop, Didier. Please. And my words don't seem to be either. Didier! He's closing in on us, and we're running out of space to retreat. Alright, Dee, if that's how it's gotta be. But just this once, okay? Knight takes another heavy, merciless step towards us. The exit's right there, but we're backed up against the wall. The end was almost within our grasp, yet it seems so hopelessly far away now. Please, Didier, don't do this. I know you don't actually want to hurt anyone. Didier! The knight raises his sword, thrusting it forward with a sharp whoosh. Death! But then, breaking free from my grasp, the painting leaps into the air. I'm really sorry! Got stuck with a pair of dolts for brothers. George's! The next second, my eldest brother's blade pierces George's. George's! George's! His form wavers momentarily, before fading into the darkness, his voice lingering behind. Don't worry about me, Michael. I got my fair of redemption already. I know he can be a bit of a pain, but do for Dee what you did for me, would ya? Now go on, call out to him. Suck in a big ol' breath. Call out to our brother with everything you got. George's! It is my duty to punish the impure. Uphold the Bollinger name. Didier! Having already stabbed George's, the knight continues his march, blade pointed straight at me. I clench my teeth and stare at my eldest brother. Running is out of the question. This doesn't have to go on any longer. It is my duty as the eldest son. You deserve to be freed from your bonds as well. Begone from this world. Didier! I shout his name with every ounce of air in my lungs. His eyes go wide, and his blade swerves off course, missing my heart. Are we stabbing Michael's arm some more? What's the arm ever done to you? It pierces my gut instead. Okay, excellent. We missed the arm. Didier, it's okay. You can let go now. It's not your responsibility anymore. You have no duty to anything anymore. Didier! I reach out a hand for my brother. Blood spills from the hole in my abdomen in rhythmic spurts, and I can feel something hot rising in my throat. But that doesn't stop me. That doesn't stop my hand crawling through the air toward him. He's my brother. I have to do whatever I can for him. Free him. Bring him back. Didier, there's nothing here. In need of your judgment. With shaking fingers, I clasp my brother's arm. I squeeze, holding on with what vigor remains, and give another shout. Look me in the eyes, Didier. Please. Hear my voice. Hear your brother's voice. I can't stand to lose anyone else. If you don't come to your senses, then George's sacrifice will have been in vain. It's time for you to break free. For all three of us to break free of the curses we placed on ourselves. Didier, please! I hear a sound that's somewhere between a grunt and a gasp. My vision's gone blurry, so I blink hard several times. clearing my eyes to get a better look at him. Didier. I see his face, twisted in anguish. Michael. Didier. Oh, thank goodness. You heard my voice. Did I do this to you, Michael? It's nothing. I've made the same terrible mistake once more. Didier, I caused you harm. Attempted to take your life. It's all right, Didier. Michael, release yourself from the chains that bind you. But those aren't your duties anymore. You don't have to protect the family name or uphold the Order's standards. You can do as you wish. Ah! Punish me for my wrongdoing. Please, Michael, punish me. Didier, cast judgment upon me. It's all in the past. Judgment is not necessary for anyone. That doesn't change what I did. I killed you. I hanged you from a cross. I must be made to pay for my sins. Punish me, Michael. I implore you. Didier, I think I know now why you never removed your helm that day. Why you remained silent for the whole ordeal. Michael, you were crying, weren't you? Weeping for me. Your tears are atonement enough for me. Michael! You bore a great deal of responsibility in life. As the Bollinger's firstborn, you were obligated to protect the family's honor. And as a knight of the church, you were tasked with the duty of my execution. You had no other choice. I sincerely believe there was nothing else you could have done. I bear no grudge against you. No resentment for the decisions you were forced to make. And I certainly don't curse you. Let's just forget it all. It's long over and done. Still, it was a mistake I never should have made. I took the life of the purest soul I know. There is no honor in that. Didier, I've been protecting the family name above protecting my actual family. You trusted me. You believed in me to the very end, and I killed you. I knew what I was doing. I knew you weren't cursed. I knew you weren't a witch. I knew you weren't a demon child. You were never unclean. You're my brother. You're family. And I robbed you of your life. There's no one in this world more unfit to be a knight than me. You don't have to be a knight anymore. You don't have to be the Bollinger's firstborn son. Deciding not to wear those labels won't make you any less the brother I always loved. I'm honored to have been born into the same family as you. Michael! There's something I never had the chance to tell you, Didier. All my life, I look up to you, admired you, and I still do, even now. If there's a next life awaiting us, I hope we can be brothers again, Didier. Do you mind if I wish for that? No, of course not. Please do. And I hope you'll allow me to wish for the same. I love you, Michael, my dear little brother. On those words, Didier's phantom begins fading away. The white mist that almost looks like it's made of undulating particles of light rises up around him. And before he's completely enveloped, I catch a glimpse of the tears streaking his cheeks. It's the first time I've ever seen him crying. I attempt to give him a smile in return, but if I were to guess, I'd say it probably looks rather forced. The fact that I'm fighting back tears at the same time certainly isn't doing anything to make it convincing. Before he's completely faded away, I wrap my arms around my brother's shoulders, much like he did for me on the day of my exile. Not as an eternal farewell, but as a promise that we'll meet again. Didier, Georges, right now, in this moment, I have no regrets about having been born a Bollinger. All I have is great pride. So I pray that one day, be it 10 or 1,000 years from now, the three of us can be reunited. I've got a number of things going through my mind right now. Morgana, I'm just not sure how to put any of it into words. Don't worry, those words say everything. You can cry if you want. I won't mock you, I promise. No, I won't cry. I'll save my tears for our reunion. Oh, that painting, it didn't have to get itself destroyed. It'll be fine, I'm sure. I have faith. As you know quite well, wishes do come true. Would you mind giving me a hand, Morgana? I'm going to need a little help getting back up. After a moment's pause, she hesitantly extends her fleshless hand. I clasp the bones, and with her aid pull myself to my feet. Blood spurts from my gut as I do. There's not much in the way of pain, strangely, only creeping exhaustion. I feel like my legs will give out if I so much as give them the chance. Leaning on Morgana, we make our way back to the entrance. You're not going to disappear, are you? Don't worry, Morgana. I won't disappear. Alright. Let's open the door. Together. Bring light into this world of darkness. Move forward. Start anew. Brighter. Let's. I take in a deep breath. Look up at the door. My eyes on the future. It's time to open the door. Not to an ending, but the door to a new beginning. May the world that awaits us be filled with light. Immersed in near blinding light, we press onward. It's white in all directions, not the tiniest speck of color to contaminate it. In fact, the concept of direction doesn't seem to exist in this world. Only pure, never-ending white. Actually, no. That's not right, now that I consider it. I was thinking of white as an absence of color. But white, the color, fills this plane. It's all disappearing. We made the right choice, didn't we? Yes. This is how it is meant to be. You're a rather impressive man, I hope you realize. Not only did you free 3 trapped souls, you also saved your brother. I didn't do any of that alone. Without help, I doubt I would have made it this far. I would have shattered yet again, until nothing was left. And Giselle gave you that strength? She did. So what? You're gonna wait here for her? I am. In that condition, I won't let myself disappear before she's made it back. You remember the warning I gave you in the mansion? About how, if a soul is damaged and destroyed, it's wholly and utterly erased from existence? Never to return in any shape or form. If you lose much more blood, that's what will happen to you. You'll be erased forever. Don't worry, I won't let that happen. Push yourself too hard, Michael. I feel like you're hurt in some way almost every time I see you. Though I suppose about half of that would be my doing. It may have caused me some pain, but I also wouldn't be here without you. What? I mean it. You say so. Besides, I've practically only ever seen you hurt too. Suppose so. Whatever form your soul may assume in your next life, I'll be praying there's far less pain in it for you. This is why I'll never get along with you. Always concerned about others. Can I ask you something? If you were to be born again, would you want it to be in a fully male body? That's what I've always wanted, so yes, I would. In your next life, if you have one, do you want to see Giselle again? Absolutely, I do. And what if you could only have one or the other? Which would you choose? Do you even need to ask? No, I suppose not. You know, I'm neither a witch nor a saint. Just an ordinary, powerless soul now. My wishes aren't likely to cause any more miracles. But I think I'll wish for something anyway. For what? Not telling. Well, I'll be off then. Alright. I didn't think it would be so difficult to come up with parting words. Say whatever you like. First thing that comes to mind is fine. Okay, I'll say to you the same thing I said to them. Farewell, Michael. Until our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate. Farewell, indeed. If by some infinitesimally small chance, we do happen to meet again, will you be my friend? Morgana, absolutely. I wouldn't want it any other way. I'm not a nice person, you know. I'm nothing like the white-haired girl. I'm sure to be off-putting and rude, cause you much grief and pain. Don't worry. I'm resilient enough to handle a little pain without pulling away. You're fine as you are. You don't need to change. So let's meet up in our next lives. And become good friends. Not good friends. Not acquaintances either. Just plain friends, understood? Understood. I'm rather looking forward to it. Now, this is goodbye for real. So I suppose I'll part with some uncharacteristic honesty. I'm glad to have had you in my life, Michael. Thank you for everything. Morgana, farewell. Until our souls cross paths once more. So quiet. So unbelievably desolate. Giselle, you endured centuries waiting for me to return. I'll wait right here for as long as I must. Feel the mansion, a gathering place for the departed, fading away. I did it, Giselle. I broke the curse. I cast off the darkness. I saved Morgana, and all the other souls trapped in there. I couldn't have done it without you. I miss you, Giselle. All I want is to see your face, to hear your voice, feel your warmth, tell you how much I love your smile. Where are you, Giselle? I know I said I wouldn't let myself disappear until you came back, and I'm wishing with all my might for my body to hold out, but it doesn't seem to be working very well. I'm coming to realize as I grow weaker that the will of one man is nothing in the face of all the universe. Is nothing in the face of the will of the universe, rather. Where are you, Giselle? I can't see you anywhere. I can see right through my hands, Giselle. My lower body is already gone, and the rest of it is following. I hope you'll still be able to find me, even without a body. I've lost my voice now, Giselle. I don't have much left to lose. I'm dissolving into the light. Say my name, Giselle. I want to hear you say my name. I'm here, waiting for you. Where are you, Giselle? Am I making it through to you? Even a little? I need you. I can't allow myself to disappear until you've returned. Giselle. Oh no, that was the mirror, that wasn't, painting. Michael. I finally found you. I'm sorry it took so long. Don't worry, Michael. I know that's you. I'll always be able to recognize you, no matter what. You don't have to be afraid. I wouldn't have made it out if it weren't for you, Michael. A ray of light reached deep into the darkness, all the way down to where I was lost. It was a light more radiant than anything I've ever seen. So much so I couldn't hold back my tears. You fought so very hard. You broke the mansion's curse, released it from the darkness. I was right about you. You are strong. Immeasurably so. Can you hear me there, Michael? I'm sorry for keeping you waiting so long, for letting you deteriorate like this. Thank you. Thank you for waiting. Now it's time for us to return, back to our rightful places. So please, Michael, don't disappear on me. Don't let your soul's flame be extinguished. I beg you, keep holding on. There's still so much I need to tell you. I want to hear your voice. I want to feel your arms around me once more. I don't care when, as long as I can have that someday. So that means I need you to not disappear on me. Michael. Michael. I believe in you, Michael. I believe you're still there, that you're still holding on. So I ask that one day, you'll come and take my hand again. Man, there better be a post-credit scene where they get back together. Like, where they find each other again. Or I'll be ticked off. Wait, he died at 24 in the first door? Mel did? I thought it was much older than that. I thought he, like, lived out, like, a normal length life. How did he die? I recognize that that's, like, not even slightly the point at this point. But for some reason I was under the impression that he, like, died at a relatively normal age. I must be misremembering. And Nellie, I definitely don't remember her dying either. Ah, we did it. Oh, is this Paris? That would make sense, given that that's where, like, a bunch of the bad ends occurred. Hello? Anybody in there? Class is about to start, and last I checked, the teacher never came in through the window. Oh, right, just a second. You've been doing that a lot lately, just staring out the window. You watching for something, or just spacing out? There's this girl who's usually out there around this time every day. Right over there, see her? Ah, that one? Looks like she goes to the junior high a few streets down. That's what I thought. But look at that hair, that flaxen color. It's almost the exact same color as mine. I can't get her out of my mind. Oh, really? If you're that interested, why not go have a chat sometime? I don't know. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Obviously, you gotta go with the old classic. Hey baby, wanna get some ice cream and hang out? Sounds like a great way to get slapped. I'm not trying to pick her up. You're lying to yourself, man. No, I don't know, like, I'm curious, that's all. And I'm curious what makes your head work, because it sure ain't what everyone else's runs on. Now get moving, it's almost time for class. Ah, wait, I'm coming! I wonder what her name is. Okay, so, Mel and Nellie, the ship can sail now that they're not related anymore. Good talk. Hey, did you hear about the new ice cream shop that just opened down by the bus stop? I did. And I hear their mint is super good, too. Ah, now I want to try it. What do you say? Want to go check it out? Let's go. Get some of that mint with a big pile of chocolate chips on top. Ooh, I know. I'll get a double scoop. Ah, that sounds amazing. I'm gonna get a double, too. I bet the line's gonna be crazy. We better get going, or... Ah! What is it? There's a cute boy who goes to that school there, and I think we just locked eyes for a second. Oh? What's he look like? A prince! A prince? Seriously? Don't you be making fun of princes now? You're not 9, you're 14. And you still haven't grown out of your fairy tale phase? Like... oh my god! Just you wait. One of these days I'll meet a real prince, and then you won't be laughing anymore. Like you'd ever be able to get a real prince's attention. Hey! That's not very nice! Jerk. Blockhead. Meanie. Come on, let's get going. Oh, fine. I'll show you one day. That is my prince. We couldn't be luckier to have a talented engineer like yourself assigned to our branch. You give me too much credit, sir. You don't give yourself enough credit. I've seen your record, and you come highly recommended from HQ. I've got high hopes for you. Higher your hopes, the greater the fallout when I make a mistake, which frightens me. What you call a mistake is what we generally refer to as a great accomplishment. I don't think I've ever met anyone as close to the perfect human being as you. I am far, far from perfect. You Japanese really are a humble lot, aren't you? Ah. What is it? I thought I just saw a woman I recognized. Ah, we get a lot of tourists from your part of the world around here. She's not Japanese. No, I must have been imagining it. This is my first time in France, after all. Ah, I was right, France. The cynical view here would be so that they can reuse backdrops. But I have never been called cynical once in my life. That's a lie, by the way. The art museum. Shopping! How can you take a vacation to France and not want to see the art? We were there all day yesterday. And you agreed before we left today would be a shopping day. That was before I realized just how big it was. Just how many beautiful paintings they had on display. There's no way one day is enough to see it all. One whole day of my vacation bored out of my skull. Not like you need the stuff, so what good is it anyway? Please. How about this? We go to a different museum, just no art this time. Oh, what kind of museum if you don't want to look at art? A torture museum. I think I hate you. Lighten up. Tell me you don't want to see centuries of torture devices from all around the world? Absolutely not. Then we stick to the plan and go shopping. Oh, have it your way. But you don't have to be so... Watch out, behind you! What? Ah! God damn, that hurt! Oh, I'm sorry. Learn to watch where you're walking, why don't you? And if you're so desperate to make a damn ruckus, go find a cafe somewhere out of the way. Well, excuse me. I apologized, didn't I? No need to be such a dickwad. Have you ever heard of talking, or is yelling the only thing you're capable of? This is why I can't stand tourists. Have some damn consideration for the people who aren't just here to fool around. The love of God. The hell's got your panties in it? And he's gone. That sure was something. Something is right. Insufferable asshole, more like. Burn in hell, motherfucker. That said, I feel like I've seen him somewhere before. Nah, it's just your imagination. You there, the paper. Good lord, the stock market is a damn mess. What a nightmare. Tourists don't know how to shut up, the French are a bunch of stuck-up snobs, pizza's awful, nobody knows how to make spaghetti. Maybe I should just pack up my bags and forget it all. The hell is this? An article about the human voice? Scientists are studying the effect certain frequencies in the human voice have on the brain. Keep this mumbo-jumbo out of the paper, my god. Save it for some paranormal or science magazine. Back to the stocks page. Ah, damn it! The wind got my hat. What is wrong with today? I believe this is yours. Ah, yeah. Thank you. The pleasure is mine. Have a nice... Hold on a second. Yes? First off, before I say anything, I am not trying to hit on you. Don't get the wrong idea. Now, have we met before? We have, yes. When and where? A long, long time ago. Much too long for you to remember. Excuse me? Our paths crossed in a mansion many, many years ago. I'm glad to see you haven't changed a bit. I'm not particularly in the mood for jokes and supernatural nonsense today. I am quite serious. One more question. Do we have any shared acquaintances? We do, yes. Though I cannot say whether she is here or not. Hopefully you have the chance to cross paths with her. I, too, am looking for someone. Have a good day, sir. Yeah, goodbye. Interesting how that was written so that we don't know if the chick he ran into was Giselle or Morgana. I assume it's Giselle, given that she says she's looking for someone, and Morgana doesn't have much reason to be, like, actively looking for someone. Like, from her point of view, it would be nice if she ran into Michael again, but it's not like she's gonna go well out of her way, I guess. I don't know. There are memories ingrained in my soul. Over the years, they've grown gradually more distinct. And now, at the age of 21, I remember everything. Were I to tell this to anyone, they would think me mad, so I've kept it to myself my whole life. I remember, many ages ago, there was a mansion. There, I met and lost someone dear to me. There, I waited for him to return. I remember all the centuries I spent waiting. And I remember, he almost lost his soul trying to save me. I am, once again, waiting for him. I'm making my way to where the mansion once stood, a single red rose in hand. A rose containing all my hopes, my dreams, my love. A prayer that it might one day reach you. Roses make wonderful gifts, after all. I probably sound like I'm out of my mind, waiting for a man who only exists in my memories. A man who, in my 21 years of life, I've never once even caught a glimpse of. But that doesn't matter, because I know just how much he means to me. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I will wait. I will trust the memories burned into my soul. I don't know when he'll show up, or if he even will. Maybe we'll never meet in this life. Maybe I'll wait until I've grown old and died. But should that happen, I'll continue waiting for you in my next life. And the one after that if I have to. I'll always be waiting, no matter how long it may take, how great the obstacles that stand in my way, or what form you may assume. Wait as long as it takes. Another 100, another 1,000 years. So just promise you'll come back for me. Michael. Give me another credits roll now. Harsh. But I guess none of us would be here right now if it weren't for these wonderful ladies and gentlemen, so seems only fair that we give them their 5 minutes. like I said, as soon as the story gets to its end, I'm going to close this video. And then the next and final video will just be odds and ends that I missed. So the ending where I don't pull the darkness out of the necklace, the ending where I don't go grab George's painting, and then the various post-game content. Thank you for playing, they say, and on that topic, thank you all for watching with me. It's been a pleasure reading for you all. Hope you all stick around for the end of this video, and the next video, and whatever games I end up playing after this. My current plan is to start up Ever 17, the Out of Infinity, sometime either later this week or next week, and then possibly once a week pepper in a slightly more exciting tale, although my definition of exciting there might differ from yours, so you can look forward to both of those. Don't worry. You don't have to wait any longer. Hey, we got a reunion! I mean, there was never really any doubt, but, like, it's nice. Giselle. I'm here for you. Now give me a nice CG. Oh, there's the butterfly on the flower. Maybe that's Morgana. Oh, I'm liking that ponytail. Whew. He's still my beating heart. There are memories. Memories ingrained in my soul. I remember there once stood a mansion here, in which many tragedies took place, in which great pain was suffered. Much of what happened in those walls was unspeakable, but they are events I should never have forgotten. Because amidst all the misfortune, I attained something irreplaceable. Giselle, there's so much I have to say, so much I want you to know, but I'm sure I have plenty of time to get to all that. So for the time being, allow me to say this. Giselle. Your smile is the light of my life. I want to spend my days with you. That smile always at my side. Nothing to get in our way. That was sweet. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. I ask of thee, O Father, bestow upon their souls thy blessing. Okay, so here we get the reversed version of the Lord's Prayer from the opening. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the house in Fata Morgana.